Hey guys, Dr. Cinema again, and I'm getting me some apple juice. That's what you guys wanted, right? Yeah, some of that good old apple juice. There we go. All seriousness though, it's time for a movie face-off. Now I know the last face-off video was unusual in terms of structure, but don't worry, we're back to the normal structure for this one. And oh boy, do we have a good one. At least I think it's a good one anyway. We are comparing two famous horror movies. We've got the Clive Barker adaptation Candyman, which came out in the year 1992. That's what I thought, yeah, 1992. We're putting up against the 2017 smash hit Get Out. This may seem like an odd face-off, but trust me, the fifth round brings things together. Anyway, we've got 5 rounds. Let's do this. Round 1, story. Like I said, Candyman is an adaptation of the Clive Barker story. Now, Clive Barker is also known for writing the story The Hellbound Heart, which was later turned into the film Hellraiser, which spawned a popular, or at least well-known, franchise. And while Candyman certainly has created its own sequels, with a potential remake from Jordan Peele possibly in the works, the original is still the most well-known, and for good reason. Focuses on a college grad student that is working on her dissertation and decides to focus on an urban myth that's in Chicago known as Candyman. Now, in case for some reason you don't know the story of Get Out, yeah, just want to double check it wasn't Chicago for Candyman. Just want to double check. Anyway, the story of Get Out is that an African American named Chris, in a relationship with a Caucasian woman named Rose, they go to visit her parents for the weekend, and things get creepy pretty fast due to some of the behaviors and dialogue from her dad, mom, brother, and extended family. And this quickly turns into a very surreal, well, not surreal, but very engaging and shocking story. Now, Candyman, based on the novel, is a pretty good adaptation, with some things changed for an American audience. But Get Out is an original story that won a Best Original Screenplay Oscar. And so, for its uniqueness, I'm giving this round to Get Out. Woo! Let's move on to round 2. Main character. The main character of Get Out is named Chris, a photographer in a relationship with his girlfriend, a Caucasian woman named Rose. He goes to visit his girlfriend's parents and extended family, notices some very strange behavior, including the presence of another fellow African American gentleman, yeah, who in the opening shot of the movie is revealed to have actually been missing for some time. And so this raises some serious questions. He discovers the family's secrets, and he fights his way out the best way he can, beating the shit out of them. The main character of Candyman is a white woman named Helen. She is a college grad student working her dissertation on the urban myth known as Candyman. Her fiance slash husband, can't remember which, is cheating on her, which does factor in mainly closer to the end of the movie. But she comes across the Candyman for realsies, and she's on a quest to stop him. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. Helen is obviously not the strongest part of this movie. She does her job well enough. I mean, she's not bad, but it's rare for a protagonist of the horror genre to reach the same iconic status as, say, Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees. And while they're certainly having some, it's difficult to do. And Chris does a great job of being an iconic horror movie protagonist. And so this round goes to Get Out again. Woo, 2-0 lead. Now let's kick things up a notch and focus on the antagonist. For Get Out, it's really a collective enemy, the extended family. Of course, it does focus on a few individuals, the dad, mom, brother, but the one that had the most surprising reveal and the one that was the last one standing is Rose, Chris's girlfriend, who turns out knows exactly what her family is doing. It's actually been one of the most probably active members of this plan from the very beginning. Her change from seemingly naive supporting character for Chris turned antagonist does subvert the typical cliche of the white girl savior, which has been seen in a few horror movies. Sorry. So this twist is actually really well done. As for the actual character herself, when she becomes the antagonist, she's strong, solid, and she is kind of badass in a certain, villainous way. But I wouldn't say she's great. I did Tony the Tiger for some reason. Now, the title character of Candyman. Now that's a villain. He was once the son of a black slave who turned into a famous, well-known artist. Back when he was still completely human, he impregnated a white woman. A lynch mob was sent to torture and kill him. And now, in the 90s in Chicago, he is the supernatural killer known as Candyman. When he's on screen, he commands the screen. All eyes are on him. His dialogue is really something else for a slasher villain. Like, it's on another level. I mean, most of the slasher villains are silent killers, Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees. And you've got the slashers that are quippy and comedic, such as Freddy Krueger. But Candyman has a level of sophisticated dialogue that just really keeps you engaged on him. That is a commanding character and a terrifying villain. So, this round goes to Candyman. I'm sorry, I like apple juice. Alright, now it's time to go to round 4, Atmosphere. Now, the atmosphere of Get Out is well done. A seemingly innocent enough home in the wilderness probably should have been a good red flags. And you've got a family that seems nice enough, but there's always that aura of dark creepiness that's just behind the shadows, behind the curtains of everything going on. And it's well done. It's really more of a thriller than the straight up horror film, but it still plays out like a horror film. Although the ending for this genre is a really happy ending. Like, it's not ever after, but for a horror movie, it is pretty happy. I mean, Chris survives, burns down the house, ends up killing everyone in it, and his friend manages to pick him up at the house and manages to bring him back home. It is a little jarring. But if we went with the original ending, which actually showed Chris being arrested and convicted for the murders of those people, that would be a serious dark tone. But still, the ending that we got in the theatrical version, again, It's good, but still a little conflicting, slightly. Candyman is a well done horror film of the 90s, but this added presence of a supernatural killer coming back from the grave to exact revenge and to kill really makes this a true horror movie, not only scaring you with the actual gore, but with the ideas and the motivations behind them make it ideologically scary as well, which adds another layer to this dark atmosphere. So this round goes to Candyman. Alright, the fifth and final round, the one that makes this a little bit more sensible. The themes of the movies. Both of these movies deal with racial tensions. With Candyman, I already explained the antagonist's backstory. Son of a black slave, impregnated a white woman, was tortured and killed by a lynch mob. And of course, he comes back to exact revenge. But the people of the modern day that look at what's going on, it's happening in a ghetto part of Chicago, and a lot of people don't really take much notice of it or really seem to have much care of what's going on. And in the earlier part of the movie, the Candyman killings are blamed on a gangster leader who is using like the Candyman persona to gain street cred. And so to wipe off all of these mythological killings is just gang violence, does sort of speak of how police at that time sort of viewed black on black crime. And of course, with Candyman's backstory, it does really show another added layer of historically the racial tensions between African Americans and Caucasian Americans. And that was pretty unique for a horror movie at the time. With Get Out, it does things differently. Instead of the usual racial themed horror movie that we might have expected, the family of the movie, the collective antagonists, are people who claim that they're not racist. They love black people. In fact, they do transfer their consciousness and their memories into the bodies of African American people. Sort of, and they basically say like black is cool, black is in, which just show that there is more than one type of racism that's going on, especially with more upper middle class white families that say they're not racist, saying that they would have voted Obama for a third term. Yeah, that's from the movie. But really, it does show that with their constantly saying how much they love black people, it really sort of demeans them in another way, making them more of like a commodity than actual people, which is very unique for a film that's gotten this much attention. As much as I love Candyman and I love the themes that are being used in the movie, I have to give this one to Get Out. The match and the face-off go to Get Out. Now, like I said, I still love Candyman, and in certain respects, I do think it is superior to Get Out. But you can see why Get Out has become so popular and been talked about so much. So, really, that's all I have to say right now. Comment down below, like, subscribe, share. See you guys next time.